Welcome to the week that was. I'm Ed Greenberger. Two big stories this week. First up, the Supreme Court's decisions in President Trump's tax return cases. Thursday's 7-2 rulings were only slightly less confusing than the movie Inception. But here's the gist. The High Court ruled President Trump does not enjoy absolute immunity and therefore is not above the law. But they kicked both cases back down to the lower courts to iron some things out, which in effect means the public isn't likely to see Trump's tax returns before the election. But Manhattan District Attorney Cy Vance could get them soon for his criminal grand jury investigation, and that's bad news for Trump. Here's some Oval Office video from the moment the rulings were announced. There were boobs in that scene. I edited them out, but I watched it about 20 times before I did it. Believe me. By the way, Trump wasn't actually in the Oval Office when the rulings were handed down. I know this because it wasn't between 2:30 and 2:45 on a Monday or Wednesday afternoon. The other big story of the week, the president commuting the sentence of his old buddy, political consultant Roger Stone. Stone was just days away from beginning his 40-month federal sentence for obstructing a congressional investigation. Now, let's put aside the fact that the president gave a convicted criminal his freedom for refusing to spill the beans on him, which Mitt Romney correctly called unprecedented historic corruption. I want you to check out these clips from Stone's civil suit deposition earlier this year.
My questions about telling the truth are quite relevant in light of the history of this defense.
You've got your own problems in that regard, don't you? Have fun molesting your own children, Larry? God, you are an asshole. You really are a jerk. If you want to keep insulting me, this will be over. You can run back to the judge like a little bitch. You'll be disbarred by then.
All right.
Mr. Clinton.
Better do it quick.
Before you're disbarred.
Stop. Mr. Clinton.
No further questions. This deposition is concluded for now, subject to my going back and moving.
I mean, is everybody in Donald Trump's circle a rageaholic, nutjob, psychopathic meth head? Dude's like the villain in a 1.5-star action thriller who dies in a scrap metal shredder trying to kill Dolph Lundgren. The coronavirus pandemic continues to get worse in many states, and now we might have another problem. China says there's a case of bubonic plague in Inner Mongolia. When asked about that, White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany assured reporters the president was briefed on the situation as soon as possible so he can get a head start on completely ignoring it. On the COVID-19 front, the president said this week he's going to push school districts across the country to open back up in the fall, and he even threatened to withhold federal funding from districts that don't open. That's a move that would seem to violate our children's rights to, not die. I know my daughter believes in her God-given right to breathe.
That is facts.
Here's another fact. The president still hasn't done anything about something that should be a presidency-defining crisis. I'm talking about the story first reported 2 weeks ago by the New York Times that Russia has offered bounties to Taliban members who kill U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan. That story was confirmed by the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, NBC News, the Associated Press, the Disassociated Press, the press that's still not sure if it wants to be associated with anyone, Wayne Gretzky, and both members of Fire Saga. Trump said he was never briefed on it, but again, it's now been 2 weeks since the story broke, and he still hasn't done anything about it. Yet nobody seems to care anymore. Like everything else, the story's lost in the never-ending stream of crap this administration spews on a daily basis. It's just another case of this president refusing to call Russia out on anything. Look, I'm not saying Trump is Vladimir Putin's bitch. Yeah, actually, that is what I'm saying. Trump is Vladimir Putin's bitch. COVID continues to ravage America pretty much unchecked, and the reason is we're just galactically stupid. Alabama state officials say University of Alabama students are throwing COVID parties where they all put money in and whoever comes down with the virus first wins the pot. Come on, kids, get smart. If you're going to do that, you might as well go for something fun to catch like syphilis or gonorrhea. Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes signed the most lucrative contract in sports history this week. The Kansas City Chiefs quarterback will get as much as $500 million over the next 10 years. I'm no doctor, but I do believe that's $500 million. When asked what he's going to do with the money, Mahomes said, "I'm going to Houston." That's the week that was. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the circle. If I don't have 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month, my wife says she's going to leave me for Paul Rudd. Stupid Paul Rudd. He ruins everything. Also, check out my other Week That Was videos. I'm Ed Greenberger. Stay safe and healthy. See you next week.